Friends, do you also recognize the feeling of being so certain that you know what you want to make with a specific yarn, and then someone's Instagram story just completely puts your idea on its head and now you're going to make something else? Yeah, I already thought that was pretty common amongst us crafters. You remember my chaos yarn, right, that I spun to commemorate 2024 and to give a nice chaotic start to 2025. I was so certain I was going to make it into something nice, tiny and simple, but not anymore. This morning I was browsing the Instagram, as one does, and on the stories of serotonin fibers there was a granny square vest, and I knew instantly that I needed to make a granny square vest with my chaos yarn. However, not in the classic sense of a granny square. And this is why I have brought my cup of tea with me, because this illustrates how much I love vintage abstracted flowers. I have Orla Keeley wallpaper, I collect archipel lotus cups and plates and everything, the whole shebang. I need to make a vintage inspired flower granny square vest. That's the millisecond that popped into my head. I could think of nothing else. Except maybe for ginger tea. So my camera's battery decided that it had enough for the day, even though it's just about noon or something. So while that was charging, I caked up our chaos yarn into 3 manageable cakes. But of course, if we want to make flower granny squares, we need to pair this yarn with something else. And my thoughts are my side project from Tour de Fleece last year, the Pollen Gold braid that I did on my support spindles. Just look how good that goes, right? It's very sunny, warm, yeah. And then, because we need probably a third color, just some white. I've got some white handspun in the same approximate thickness. That will be either the heart or the petals of the flower, I don't know. What I'm going to do first now is crochet 2 versions of the square I want to make, see which one I like best. And then we can figure out how much we need of them. I have picked a 3mm crochet hook because all of my yarns are rather thin, and I would rather have this be a little bit more of a dense and warm vest. You know, it's winter still. And now I've lost counting. 2, 4, 6, okay. Well, this settles the debate of which order to use immediately. I love these colors together, however, when they are next to each other, there is not enough contrast. You don't even see that there is a flower in here. This, on the other hand, it's just a little daisy. How can I not? I mean, ah, what a cute little vintage looking daisy with such a magical chaos border. Yes. Now, to figure out how many of these pretty daisy squares I need, I'm just going to make like a mock-up pattern on a piece of newspaper of my chaos goblin vest, because I think that fits me nicely. I'm going to square it out a little bit more than this is, because of course there are no nice decreases in my squares. Yeah, measure our square in that little pattern, and then we're good to go, I think. I think 37 of these. Let's do that. I have now made 6 of my daisy squares already, all looking really rather lovely. However, my white yarn is quickly diminishing. I don't think I have enough for 37 of these, so I'm hoping to get to 18 with the white daisies, which is approximately half, and then might make just this square, but only in my chaos yarn, and then make kind of a checkerboard pattern. I think that would be really cute too. I am, by the way, pretty happy to be doing another crochet project. Why don't I do more of them, you might ask, which is a valid question. Well, maybe mostly because I prefer the textile, the fabric that knitting makes, as something that I can wear, because I prefer to make garments over home goods or accessories or, you know, plushies or something. But also, I don't follow that much crochet influencers, like not on Instagram or on YouTube. I watch Michelle Jasek's videos, but other than that, I mostly follow knitfluencers and knitting YouTubers or spinning YouTubers. Do you have some recommendations for me of some crochet social media personalities that I could follow and get more crochet inspiration? Because I think that is what I'm lacking. I'm seeing all the beautiful knitting inspiration, but just not as much crochet inspiration. A change of plans for the change of plans. I have up until this point 13 squares with the daisies. I only have this much white left over. I'm not going to get to 37. I'm also not going to get to the 18 I was planning to do and then have low contrast squares in between them. However, if I omit the bottom row of my original plan, I had 2 rows of squares over here in my drawn pattern that is in the studio and which I am too lazy to fetch. I get this, which would fit me widthwise and would mean 4 squares less from that 18, so 14, but that's not right because these are 8 squares. I need 16 squares. That is 3 more. That should be possible with this much white yarn, I think. And then I'm just going to knit I said that correctly, a longer border. That's the plan, for which I might also change the plan of what I first set of doing entirely chaos yarn squares. I might make the low contrast squares with entirely yellow daisies, because I think I have enough of the yellow. I had a 100 grams braid that I spun entirely. Yeah, that's the plan going forward. Oh no, I was correct about the 14. If I want to have like alternating squares all the way around, then I must place the squares for the back side on the places that don't have squares right now, and then I need 14, not 16 of the white daisy squares, so I only need 1 more. My change of the plans is working out better than expected. Aren't they so cute together? It's like a daisy and a dandelion. If I were actually capable of writing actual crochet patterns, I would call this the daisies and dandelions slipover, of course. There is just about enough contrast to make this interesting, but like low enough contrast to make the daisies the central focal point of this project. Very nice. So now, if you are wondering, Jente, why didn't you just spin more white yarn? Valid question. However, I do also think that just going head-on straight into some of the roadblocks, some of the challenges or problems that may arise in a project really helps to exercise your creative muscle. I could have gone the easy road and just spun more white yarn, and I would have had 37 nice daisies. that's completely a possibility that I could have went for, but I did not. I instead wanted to go the creative route with what I already have. I didn't want to create extra. I wanted to see if I could find creative solutions with the yarn that I already have. And, well, personally, I think working this way, sometimes you create pieces that are much more interesting than the idea you had in the beginning. Or is that just me? Anyway, I am super excited about how this project is going to look when it's done. Let's make some more dandelions. We have all the squares needed to make the vest. However, they are at this point in time a little bit misbehaving when it comes to shape. They don't want to be exactly straight. I mean, no shade if you don't want to be straight, but for squares I do kind of expect it. So I'm going to steam block them. Look at how much neater they are like that. A rare occurrence here in Belgium. Snow! Taking full advantage of the snow, giving my sweaters, my woolens, a nice snow bath. Ooh, they will be so clean and fresh. So now that I have created arm's-eye ribbing, neckband ribbing, I am just going to continue knitting on the bottom ribbing until my yarn is done, completely worked up. Waste not, want not. I know, it's only January, so it might be a little bit early to say this, but I think I need to step up my game if I want to top this project in 2025. I love it so much. I am so happy that I did not go with my initial thought of making like a really simple hat or something with this yarn, because this is just perfect. It gives all the abstracted vintage flower vibes that I love. I also want more vests because I like wearing them. They give an extra little bit more warmth while you can still show off the cool sleeves of your shirts. And I also really love that it actually is an entirely bespoke design. I mean, I did get the flowers from an already existing pattern, which of course, as you know me, I have linked down below in the description box. But other than that, it was all my own making. I drew out a template, made the squares, made them fit the template, thought about how I wanted the ribbing, where I wanted the ribbing. Well, where is not really difficult, but what kind of ribbing I wanted, how long I wanted it. And now it is bespoke, tailored to fit me and my styles. Yes, I am very proud of that. You are allowed to know that. Which then in turn makes me curious. How would you have tackled making a bespoke vest for yourself? Would you have gone this route or just something else? However, if you want to make a bespoke vest in the same way that I did, I will try and make some kind of diagram with all the measurements and dimensions of this thing so that you can kind of adjust it to your own measurements, like make the squares smaller or bigger to how much centimeters circumference and length you might need. I will post that as usual on the free tier of my Patreon page. Another reason why I am really happy about going with this project instead of something really simple is that I now can see how this chaos yarn looks both knit up and crocheted up. It's funny how that is completely different because the ribbing, while it is the same colors, it looks completely different to the outer edges of the squares. It's funny, really funny how both crafts do different things with very chaotic and colorful yarns. Really an awesome exploration of this. And I believe I might make some more crochet projects in the future because this was rather hella fun. I say this every time I make a crochet project. Maybe I should listen to myself. That would help. That would help a lot. I hope you can see this video as your encouragement to just sometimes go wild, even though your brain says, do simple. This asks for simple. No, sometimes it does not, and it is worth experimenting with chaos and being wild. It is all about the fun of crafting after all, isn't it? Anyway, if you like these kind of fiber shenanigans, then maybe you could like, comment or subscribe, but of course that is all up to you. And as for me, I will see you in a next video. But before we do that, maybe you could look at some more crochet shenanigans because, well, yes, now there is more than 3 videos, I can make a playlist. Bye!